Okay, everybody, I'm back. So many people have the experience of being in orthodontic treatment for 2 to 5 years. Hopefully not too much longer. Isn't there a faster way? I mean, you've got different bracket systems, Damon, speed brackets. You've got different bracket types. Kind of the same thing, like self-ligating brackets. Then you also have different procedures, like using devices you can stick in your mouth and they buzz, vibrate your teeth, or micro osteoperforations, little screws that zzz, 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 like that sound, buzz into your bone to try and create inflammatory response to help your teeth move faster. Some even try to recommend early treatment to make future treatment faster or less complex. Well, are any of these worth it? Are they worth the cost? Do any of them actually make your treatment go faster? Today we're going to be reviewing a blog post by Kevin O'Brien. We introduced him last week. Is a great resource to help you at least consider different sides of orthodontic treatment. And we're going to talk about fast braces. A type of bracket, let's get into it. He comes up with the first question, right? Wouldn't it be great if someone developed an orthodontic appliance that could be used by general practitioners with 1 to 2 days of training? It's kind of, taking a jab here. And to be honest, orthodontists, before we get into this, orthodontists in general, we love the idea of trying to treat faster. What can we do? What can we do to make treatment more efficient and faster, better for the patient? That's what we want. So here's one of the first things that I'd like to talk about with fast braces, and it's not just this, but we're going to talk about this first. Fast braces has been heavily marketed to general dentists. So the question has to be, if you are using a general dentist, do they have the adequate training to help you with your orthodontic needs? Now, don't get me wrong, I definitely believe in the general dentist's role in orthodontics, right? Sometimes people just don't have access to a specialist, and so the next best thing is is a dentist, or your general dentist, somebody who does your fillings and crowns, and you might like, ooh. Sometimes they are your best option. But are general dentists jumping on board to some system like this, buying into marketing claims that they're faster, that anybody can do it, and do the patients know this? The patients know what they're getting into. So that is one concern that Dr. O'Brien kind of brings up at the very beginning, pointing out that fast brace, this particular system, maybe a lot of general dentists use it. Okay, next one. Let's go to. Okay, he goes through this website and digs in a little bit about this product, and he notes this claim from Fast Braces: patented method for restoring improper morphology of the alveolar bone. Whoa. What does that mean? Well, he moves on. He goes on to say, I have taken this to mean that moving the teeth results in the development of alveolar bone. That's the bone that your teeth sit in. This right here. This is called the alveolar process up here. And above that is the actual jawbone, like all together. So the alveolar process is where your teeth sit in. And so they're talking about developing this when you move teeth around. As a result, we can treat most cases on a non-extraction basis. Okay, I want to bring this up next from his blog because, in my opinion, extraction versus non-extraction is a choice. So many people talk about how orthodontists, or like, for example, in this case, I can do it non-extraction, or we don't have to extract teeth because of this appliance. The reality is, in my opinion, the extraction versus non-extraction comes down to the provider. It's a choice based on what you know, right? Based on your knowledge about how teeth move, about how bone responds, about how much crowding there is, what kind of bite you're trying to get, you make a decision on whether or not you think extraction would be beneficial to help the patient reach a certain outcome, right? An ideal outcome. But the reality is I could choose to treat everybody non-extraction. And you're like, well, why don't you? Well, that's because not all cases end the same with non-extraction treatment or even with extraction treatment. If you have a really crowded case and you try to line everything up, you know what those teeth are going to do? They're going to wink like this. You're going to have buck teeth. Sometimes people have soft tissue to mask that, to hide the effects, right? Teeth that stick out more can cause your lips and your musculature to not be as balanced and harmonious. When your teeth stick out that much and you smile, it doesn't necessarily look that good. Other thoughts from a health perspective, at least in school, they teach us the importance of the teeth. The most healthy position for those teeth is when they are completely encompassed in the alveolar bone, right? And so if you just spread everything out, non-extraction, then those teeth tend to get towards the outer portion of that bone, and sometimes they come through. And depending on susceptibility of the patient, gum tissue type, things like that, it can lead to bone loss and gum recession. Bone loss in particular is a no-no. We really don't want that because eventually that could lead to tooth mobility and then tooth loss. Now, it has to be pretty significant bone loss, but doesn't look very good, and it is kind of the early stages of bone loss that could lead to tooth loss. Again, I'm not trying to scare, it's just this idea. We can choose to do everything non-extraction if we wanted to, right? But there are pros and cons to both extraction and non-extraction. So don't just think that a certain appliance is the reason why you're treating non-extraction. Really, I think it comes down to the provider. And not many general dentists want to extract, probably because that introduces some serious complexity to try and get the whole case to finish right. And so the easiest way to treat is non-extraction. Even orthodontists know that. Just put the braces on and let the teeth do what they're going to do with the wire. All right, then he goes on, he kind of talks about different things, sales strategy. Let's go to right here. What did Kevin O'Brien think? My academic opinion is that fast braces can be described as short-term orthodontics and mostly treatment directed at improving the appearance of the social six. So, in their claims, some are suggesting that they treat cases in like 3 to 12 months. And Dr. O'Brien here refers to the social six. All orthodontists know that general alignment of teeth. That means when your teeth are really twisted and you can get them to line up pretty well, huge change, 6 months, not a problem. Okay, 6 months, not a problem. Now, if you're finishing a case in 6 months, the question is, how are you finishing? The social six, the front teeth, from canine to canine, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, it is easy, generally speaking, to fix those teeth, to line them up into better positions. They might not be ideal positions from twisting standpoint, maybe off like a millimeter or so, or maybe less, but you can come to my office and I can slap some braces on you and you can have straighter teeth in 6 months or less, especially if they're really easy cases with a little bit of twisting. You can actually get really good finishes for patients like that. But plenty of people don't have those types of cases. And orthodontists generally have the knowledge base to suggest, okay, well, we have a couple options. We have one option to get your whole bite, all of your teeth, to the what we consider ideal function, stability, cosmetics, alignment and position of teeth. Or if you're not interested in what the predictable options are to get you to that point, then you can consider some sort of social alignment. Hey, I don't want to spend that much time doing those things. Okay, let's talk about what the other option, what the alternative is. But it's not necessarily related to a specific bracket type. Again, your provider, what they're trying to help you accomplish, what your goals are. People get the social six alignment all the time. in all over the world and is not really related to a particular appliance like fast braces. All right, and then in summary, and you can read this whole thing. It's a great blog. Like I said, if you have questions about orthodontic treatment, feel free to go in here and look and see if he's written a blog. And, you know, I'm not saying you have to take it as gospel, and even listening to me, you don't have to take it as gospel, but now you've got multiple opinions about these different topics, and I'll get to it, but you definitely need to hold your providers accountable. Say, okay, what are we trying to accomplish here? Let's do this together. Okay. I have looked at the published literature on fast braces, and I could not find any clinical trials that supported the claims for faster treatment, maintaining the bite, less root resorption, and the effectiveness of non-extraction treatment with fast braces. So, now, two things on this, because evidence is important, right? What evidence are there for doing things? If we just did everything, we'd, run out of money. And we might do things that are unnecessary or create burdens or unnecessary risks. Everything has risks and benefits, and the question is, do the benefits outweigh the risks? And how do we know that those risks or those benefits outweigh the risks? Well, you test them. You try to understand, okay, if we test these two things, one is a test group and the other is a control group, and we compare them, and if the benefits truly show up in the test, then it's like, yeah, maybe this could be worth it. Based on the evidence. Currently, though, for fast braces and other things, the evidence is out. Now, somebody made the comment, I was looking through comments here, that there's so much in traditional orthodontics that doesn't have this strong evidence behind it. And, I agree. The hundreds of years of trying to figure things out, and even still, anybody who knows research knows that it's hard to get really strong research, meaning that like answers all the questions. You always see the comment like, more research is indicated. And that's true. We're always learning. And I think the orthodontic industry has tried to make strides in pursuing truth like this. And I think it's a good way to pump the brakes and basically say, hey, look, like before we just jump into every new thing that comes out to try and make it faster or better outcomes, that we hey, what's the science behind? Can we test this? And this could be a benefit to our patients. It can be a benefit to us. Let's do things that let's do things that truly make a difference in people's lives, in their mouths, and not just claim it. So, orthodontic industry is getting better at providing evidence, and I think that even though there is still lots of evidence to be gained, it doesn't mean that we should discard the little evidence that we have, and it doesn't mean we should abandon this mantra or this pattern of pursuing truth. I think this is an important way for us to protect patients or help them make good choices. And then I think this is great. Kevin does this. Don't throw stones in a glass house. It says, nevertheless, the orthodontic specialty must be careful not to throw stones in glass houses. For example, we are all aware of the claims on self-ligating brackets, we talked about that at the beginning, vibratory devices, and MOP, which appear on many specialist websites that are not supported by good quality clinical research findings. Importantly, the claims for self-ligating brackets are not markedly different from those made about fast braces. So break that down. Basically, you have orthodontists that, in the pursuit of gain, right? Everybody wants to make more money, but they pursue it at the cost of the patient. Meaning that, do these vibratory devices work all the time, every single time? No, but sometimes they cost thousands of dollars. And so are the specialists that are providing these to you, are they informing you of that and making you aware that, hey, this, the evidence currently suggests that this may not be effective. Do you still want to do it? Or with the self-ligating brackets like Damon or fast braces, specialists that advertise that, hey, this, these type of braces make treatment go that much faster. Well, technically the the science, currently generally accepted science, doesn't support those claims. And do the patients know that? Or do they just hear that, hey, this will make it go faster? So orthodontists need to do a better job too of keeping the patient's interest in mind. Okay, so like I said, go through the blog. It's great. This was a fantastic one about fast braces, and there are lots of different types of appliances, procedures in orthodontics that whether general dentists are using or specialists are using that may be promoted to you, and you need to be aware of what works, what doesn't work, what are the pros and the cons, what does the evidence say, what does it not say, and make sure you can make informed decisions related to the claims that you're receiving. So just to wrap it up, there are so many marketed appliances and techniques. Remember, you understanding what these things are can help you keep your professionals, your healthcare professionals hold them accountable, and it can help you sift through. Sometimes it doesn't come straight to you through your professionals. Sometimes it comes through, just marketing by companies, and you can sift through some of those things and make sure you have as much information as you can to make the best and most informed decisions. So the conclusion that I get from this, and from what I understood or from what I learned in residency and as research has continued to come out, is that right now there is no bracket system, whether that's Damon, Speed, fast braces, so many others, self-ligating, non-self-ligating. There's no system that has been proven to be superior in time, in the ability to treat faster, in overall results, or ability to treat something, make it non-extraction versus extraction surgery or non-surgical, things like that. There's nothing out there like that. It really comes down to provider. What does the provider that you have, what do they know? What's their experience? What are your goals? That's mostly what determines time, outcome, and extraction, non-extraction, surgical, non-surgical. Again, hold your dental and orthodontic specialists accountable, ask questions, and hopefully you can find somebody you feel good with, comfortable with, that matches the best evidence that we have out there currently. Or at least you're in a position where you feel comfortable with the associated cost and the current evidence that your provider is providing you with. So thanks everybody for checking in. Be sure to subscribe to Dr. O'Brien's blog, and check us out if you like this video and want to hear more about orthodontic opportunities. And if you have questions, leave a comment below. I try to respond to those. And of course, subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel so that we can open your eyes to the wonderful world of straight teeth and beautiful bites. That's all I've got. Just a little PFOing so you know where you're going. Packard out.